We've got highlights from Juneteenth 2017.
We'll check out a car show at Oakview Baptist Church.
And we'll meet anime artist Myles.
All this and more coming up About Town.
Hello everyone, and welcome to About Town. I'm Michelle Gibson.
And I'm Kathy Whiteman, and I am so happy to welcome Michelle to the show. Now, we've already had your very talented son Nigel on the show.
Yes, you have.
He was in a part of the crew on the kids' holiday special last year. So did he tell you it's time for Mama to step up?
You know, he told me that day it was time for me to step up because he thought he just aced it, you know.
He did.
He did.
He really did. Yeah. So a little background on Mom. I happen to know that you are an amazing dancer with several advanced degrees in dance. So tell us a little bit.
Well, I'm a choreographer, performing artist, and educator. Originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. I've been here since 2005, since Hurricane Katrina. And so it's been an amazing 12, 13 years in Dallas. And I have my master's degree and, you know, but I love what I do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I love what I do.
And you are absolutely wonderful at it.
Thank you.
Now I have to say that for the Irving audience, maybe doesn't know you as well as the Dallas audience does, but you are from here in Irving, so you are no longer a best kept secret here.
No, I'm not. But it's, you know, it's great for people to finally know that you're present.
Yeah.
So hopefully me and Irving can create this dance thing.
I think that it needs to happen.
Yes.
So I'm thrilled that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
And so glad that you guys could join us for our first official show of the summer.
Speaking of summer, Cynthia Flores has a look at a new summer film, Book of Henry.
As always, we invite you to email us and let us know about stories you'd like to see and events that you'd like to promote.
So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. Or you can still email us at ictn@cityofirving.org.
As we step into summer, here's a look at some events around Irving during our very busy spring. We'll have a few of these for you throughout the show.
Everybody follow Gumby!
An annual event draws hundreds of loyal supporters to the field at Ranch View High School.
I've been every year for 6 years now.
I've participated in for 17 years.
I'd like to officially welcome you to the BAPS Charities Walk Green 2017.
This international charitable organization has a local focus.
BAPS Charities and the Walkathon is all about thinking globally and acting locally.
1, 2, 3!
In addition to planting trees around the world with the Nature Conservancy, the Walkathon raises money for 2 local charities. This year, funds benefit the Friends of the Irving Public Library and the Family Advocacy Center.
And BAPS Charities, through its monetary contributions, are going to have a significant impact on those families that come through that entity looking for services, looking for relief, and looking for help.
Truly 6 years running to see all the good that BAPS is doing, just helping the community wherever there's been a need.
And made good on their motto, leave a lasting impression. This is Kathy Whiteman reporting.
Juneteenth is celebrated in Texas as the day that word of emancipation finally reached the state of Texas. In Irving, the event is always celebrated as a day of unity, pride, and acknowledgement of our strong local heritage. Here's Allie Hudson with the story.
Bear Creek has a special place in the history of Texas.
This community is older than the city of Irving itself. It predates Irving incorporation, and it's a very historical community.
Councilman Webb says that Bear Creek has always been a close-knit community.
That spirit is still here. Some of the residents are still here. Some of the older people that was around during the 40s are still here. And as you will see today in this Juneteenth celebration, it's like a homecoming. It's like a reunion.
So Juneteenth is a day to reflect, engage, and understand the history.
It's important to tap into the educational vessels that are teaching Black history and teaching the meaning and significance of Juneteenth.
That's why the Jackie Townsville Bear Creek Heritage Center was the perfect place for this year's celebration.
We want to reflect on the museums that are here in Irving that teach Black history. And then we also want to pay tribute to museums on a national level. Most recently, there was a new African American History Museum that opened in Washington, D.C.
Included in the center are the Greenhouse, the Masonic Lodge, and the J.O. Davis Museums.
These 3 museums help to preserve Bear Creek's rich history.
You're standing in the Masonic Lodge Museum that was established in 1947. It's one of 3 museums in this area.
Attendees toured the museums, and it was a day filled with laughter and good company. In-N-Out Burgers was a 3-time corporate sponsor and provided a free picnic for everyone in attendance. The event included performances by DVA Inc. Productions and a concert by Vibe Band. Music, history, and food. This year's Juneteenth was in fact a reunion celebration. This is Allie Hudson reporting.
Up next for Irving Parks and Recreation, the annual Independence Day celebration. Visit irvingevents.org for more information.
Cars, and more cars lined the parking lot at Oakview Baptist Church this May. And the cars weren't the only thing that were on wheels. Kathy attended and she brings us the story.
There were classic cars and more at Oakview Baptist Church's 2017 Car, Truck, and Motorcycle Show.
We did the wheels, we did the carpet on the inside, trunk detail, just some of those kind of basic things that don't take too much work.
Pastor Jim Gerlach says restoring this classic 1966 Mustang with his son was a bonding experience.
My son and I went to Kentucky, drove it all the way back from there, and then been working on a little bit ever since.
There were many stories like this one among the folks who gathered for the second annual event.
It's such a family-oriented type thing. You very rarely ever see somebody that doesn't show up and just friendly as they can be. You make your best friends at car shows.
Hershey should know. He's been in the business of organizing and promoting car shows almost 15 years.
They just love coming out, and yes, I have a mixture of my followers, the Oakview Baptist Church followers, and we had a good show last year, and this one was just as good, if not better.
We have 49 cars registered right now, and we've probably got 30 more minutes before the registration closes.
Michael Thomas organized both this year's and last year's events. He says attendees might return for the cars.
We had several people that have returned from the first show that's back again this year.
But he says they stay for the fellowship.
You know, I just think the new relationships you form, I think every time we do this, we find somebody that we haven't met or somebody who just, we're able to connect with and just feel like we've made a new friend.
There were all kinds of vehicles on wheels.
Got everything from 1923 right up through 2017.
But nothing more unusual than this. An old-fashioned hearse drawn by a motorcycle rather than a horse.
This friend of mine brought a little trailer over. We just cut it all apart and used the frame and went and bought new axles and tires and just started building it. We welded all that together, then we went to Home Depot and just started buying material.
Gary Teague, associate pastor for the Men's Biker Bible Study, says every biker takes a final ride. He says he created this vehicle so they could take that final ride in style. He brought his grandson Shannon with him to the car show.
We just come so we could see all the pretty cars and tell everybody about the last ride in Jesus.
In addition to cars, fun, friendship, and faith, the event also supports a worthy cause.
It's Baptist Benevolence Ministries of Irving. It's a networking of several churches that have gone together.
They help individuals with food, job assistance, referrals, and counseling.
And it's just been a life changer for lots of folks. It's designed to be a crisis ministry for folks that just need a couple weeks of groceries to get them through a hard time.
If you missed this year's Car, Truck, and Motorcycle Show, mark your calendars for spring 2018 when it returns. This is Kathy Whiteman reporting.
Visit ovbc.net to learn more about Oakview Baptist Church events.
This week, Cynthia Flores returns to the show with a look at the Book of Henry.
How do I tell you about this great new film I saw without giving it all away? I'll do my best to not spoil it all for you. The Book of Henry is a film about a boy genius that lives with his mom and little brother. He discovers that the girl next door, Christina, who he has a crush on, may be getting abused by her stepfather. So he tries to help her and comes up with a detailed plan to save her, writing it all in his notebook.
Our legacy isn't how many commas we have in our bank account. It's who we're lucky enough to have in our lives and what we can leave them with.
Henry, remind me again why we can't put you in a gifted school.
Because it's better for my psychosocial development for me to interact with a peer group in a normal school environment.
Oh, yeah.
The lead cast is amazing in this movie. The always wonderful Naomi Watts plays Susan, the mostly immature single waitressing mother of 2 sons. The 2 young boys featured in the film are both surprisingly seasoned actors at such young ages. One from the Oscar-nominated film Vincent, and the other from the Oscar-winning movie Room. I'm talking about the little brother, Jacob, played perfectly by Peter Carpenter, and his older brother, Henry, who is the precocious child genius, brilliantly acted by Jaden Lieberher.
Hey, Susan? I guess I could just set you up with direct deposit if that's easier.
I don't know. I'll have to ask Henry.
You have to ask your 11-year-old?
Did our financial statement come in the mail today?
Yeah, I forgot to give it to you.
I don't know how you do it all by yourself.
Come on, I have Henry. Find me another male of the species who's more grown up than him.
I'd like to.
This story, it's about me, my brother, my mom, and the girl who lived next door. Henry and Peter, they're lucky to have you.
And your father's lucky to have you too.
Stepfather.
The supporting cast are no chumps either. Comedian Sarah Silverman is great as Susan's drunk best friend Sheila. Dean Norris is always menacing as the chief of police stepfather Glenn Sickelman, a monster of a man. And in her feature film debut is Maddie Ziefler as Christina. You may know her from the reality TV show Dance Moms or from all the music videos she's danced on for Sia. Well, after this, you'll remember her for the sad and wounded girl next door from this film.
You okay? I'm good. Mom, I have to tell you something, and it's very important. Christina's in trouble. When someone hurts someone else, we have to make it better. There's only one way to stop it. I'd hope to do it all myself, but that's not an option.
There has to be another way to help Christina. Why there's no way to help.
This film really does a great job showing the frustration a kid feels when he sees something wrong being done and no one in authority will listen or do anything to help stop it. The cinematography is rich and helps paint the small town feel of the location. I know the director Colin Trevorrow has been tapped to do the next Star Wars film. You'll see why in this movie. His choice of framing shots and his ability to give such a strong rhythm to really tense scenes take this story to another level.
Mr. Sickelman is the police commissioner. I'm not going to subject him to public scrutiny without conclusive evidence.
Okay, let's do this.
The Book of Henry is rated PG-13. Just a heads up, the F word is used but infrequently, and there's a scene where Susan points her middle finger at Henry because she's the immature one playing video games, and her genius son is really the adult in the family. You could argue that this alone, besides the other topics of child abuse and illness, are reason enough to take this off the list of films for children. However, please add it to the great films for teens and adults that you must watch this summer. It's a rare movie that can make you cry like a baby in one scene and then make your heart race with anticipation the next. Trust me, you'll enjoy and remember this great summer film.
Mom, everything you need is right here. I'll be with you the whole time.
I know what you've done. Henry documented all of it.
Who do you think they're gonna believe?
It can't be left undone. No matter what, don't panic.
I'm not panicking.
We have to make it better.
Book of Henry is currently playing at theaters throughout the Metroplex.
The theater filled up fast at Carpenter Performance Hall in the Irving Arts Center during a very special Children's Day at the Theater event.
Today we're going to be performing Jack the Beanstalk. It's a show that was actually built in 1995. It originally debuted in Arlington, Texas, but it is going to be, it's been refurbished and updated, but it's going to be performed here at the Irving Arts Center for the kids of Irving.
Geppetto's Les Theatre des Marionnettes teamed up with the Irving Parks and Recreation Department to host the free show.
We just wanted a lot of kids who may not have had a theater experience, and we wanted parents who may not be able to afford to bring multiple kids to the theater. We wanted to give them a live performance experience.
Geppetto's decided to show the kids a performance they would be familiar with.
Jack the Beanstalk is a perennial favorite of all the kids, boys and girls, and it has a lot of magical stuff that happens on stage, so the kids really love it.
Well, hello there, lad.
Are you here to see the magic show? I see you've beaten the crowd to see Maynard the Great, wizard and conjurer extraordinaire.
Who's that?
I know parents are always looking for things for kids to do in the summertime. And like I said, I don't think that a lot of children, they go to the movies and they see movies on television, but a lot of them don't go to live performances. So we wanted to teach them about the etiquette of being in a theater and just to give them exposure to a live performance by top-notch professionals.
And for some of these kids, this marionette puppet show will be a first-time experience.
These are live characters on stage. They don't think of it as puppets anymore. It is a live action show on stage. It's great.
Children's Day at the Theater succeeded in putting on a sold-out show that had the kids in disbelief and amazement as they watched these puppets come to life.
I think I smell an Englishman.
For About Town, this is Susan Kamyab.
Keep a meal and forever old. Is he over here? Or over here?
When an artist has a real passion for what they do, the passion usually shows up early. Myles has had a talent for drawing since he can remember, but what he loves drawing best is anime. Here's Kathy's profile of this talented MacArthur High School student.
Say if I'm drawing a Sonic the Hedgehog character, I start off really simple. I start off with a bean shape, like this. Sometimes I add a little detail in there, sometimes I don't. You know how kids are drawing on the walls, their mom's like, "What are you doing?" But my mom said, actually go ahead and keep doing that because she believed I'll be a good artist, and here I am right now.
They say mother knows best, and Myles' passion for drawing has only grown over the years.
I am 15, I'm a teenager. I now draw through summertime, wintertime, anytime. Anytime I feel like it, I just draw.
What he loves to draw most is anime. That's why Myles decided to display some of his work at A-Kon, the ultimate fan event for anime and manga lovers.
Anime is basically the Japanese style of cartoon, and manga is basically the extremely detailed version of comics, because here's a page right here from the Dragon Ball Super manga right here.
Myles enjoys drawing characters from his favorite manga series.
I'm into Dragon Ball, Naruto, Full Metal Alchemist.
But he's also created an anime self-portrait.
We got my OC right here, Myles the Hedgehog. He's a lighthearted soul.
And a character based on a lifelong friend.
Mizu, I might make a manga about her. She right here, she's been my childhood friend since I was 3. I've known her ever since she was a baby.
The years Myles has invested in learning to painstakingly create these hand-drawn characters has paid off. He was allowed to take the animation class at MacArthur High School a year early.
Well, this is our final project we're doing because it's near the end of we're near the end of school. It's fun. It's really fun. I have a lot of friends in here. And I pretty much have the freedom to work on the computer.
The class is teaching Myles a new way to create anime.
Animating is like a flip book on the computer and in real life. Flip book animation, that's pretty much what started it. And it's like this on the computer.
But whether it's on computer or on paper, Myles' focus remains the same.
The drawing part is what hooks me.
This is Kathy Whiteman reporting.
This year's Chinese brush painting and ikebana exhibit is entitled Year of the Rooster. This exhibit, which never fails to impress, continues in the Irving Arts Center main gallery through July 2nd. Here's a look and a list of other creative things to do about town. And here are some other great things to do about town. Celebrate our nation's birthday with a day full of fun on the 4th of July. The annual Independence Day Parade kicks off at 9 a.m. in the Heritage District, and it's followed by a watermelon reception at Heritage Park.
The fun continues at Lake Carolyn at 6 p.m. with concerts, food, and annual fireworks show at twilight. Visit irvingevents.org for more details.
Learn all about Birds of the World at the Irving Chautauqua on Saturday, July 8th at the South Irving Library.
And the West Irving Aquatic Center hosts the Teen Splash Jam on Saturday, July 8th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. This is a change in venue from the Cimarron Park Aquatic Center. Visit cityofirving.org and click the calendar link for more information. And that wraps up this edition for About Town. Thanks for joining us.
Please be sure to tune in next time when we'll have highlights from the 4th of July celebration, and we'll have a story on the Irving Concert Series for kids.
We'll also check out the Irving Kids Charity Classic Kickoff Party.
We'll leave you tonight with JB and the Zydeco Posse, the grand finale of the Irving Concert Series celebrating the music of New Orleans. For About Town, I'm Kathy Whiteman.
And I am Michelle Gibson. Have a great evening About Town.
We're ballin' on Zydeco. We're ballin' on Zydeco. Hey, ma. Hey, ma. When I leave from the club and walking on the street, people shaking my hand and stomping their feet. We're ballin' on Zydeco. We're ballin' on Zydeco. Stay with me. Hey, ma. Hey, ma. Come on, Lizzie. People in the club are doing their thing. I got them waving their hands and stomping their feet. We're ballin'